Welcome to the Nintendo Power Zone unboxing, guys. It's your boy Nice1983, and today we are following up on the Splatoon blasters being released by Jakks Pacific. Today we have the Splattershot Mini. Now I'm excited about this one. As you guys know, the regular Splattershot blaster, the full-size edition, I said was the toy of 2017. I'm hoping this toy is almost as good. I know it won't be as good as that large blaster, but I'm hoping that it hits the same kind of marks that the big version did. So guys, as you can see, this thing is a mini version of the Splattershot, and I kind of like it. Now there's one thing that is upsetting to me, and it's the fact that I wanted Jakks Pacific to expand upon this line, but I wanted them to do it with official weapons that we can use in the game, like maybe a splat roller or a splat charger, or you know, maybe the new dualies that are going to be coming out for Splatoon 2. Bottom line is that there are so many great weapons in the Splatoon universe. Jakks Pacific really didn't have to go and make their own. That being said though, it is pretty cool for them to make a budget version of the Splattershot. Now this one is retailing at $16.99 at Toys R Us and at GameStop. So plethora of places where you can buy it, and I see the Splatoon community really embracing these guns. I love these guns, so let's just go ahead and get this thing unboxed today, guys. So we got everything out of the box, and take a look at everything. So there are three things that come in the box. You have the pilot goggles, which come straight out of the game, which I love. These are some of the coolest accessories that they could have packed in the box. Then you have your ink tank, and this one is filled with orange ink. Now we talked about this last time. It's called ink, but it is slime, and this is one of the best repurposes of slime I have ever seen. I loved slime as a kid, and I still love slime as an adult, and the fact that Jakks Pacific found a new way to use slime is amazing. It is truly amazing to me. And of course, we have the Splattershot Mini, and I love this gun. It looks great. I mean, they basically took the overall design concept of the Splattershot and kind of shrunk it down so that it can fit in one hand. It's a very cool little concept. Not something we see in the game though. Like I said, that does bother me, but it is not a huge deal, and it's just a way for Jakks Pacific to use the Splatoon line in an awesome way. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the accessories that come in the box. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the pilot goggles. I love this accessory. First, it's going to protect people's eyes. Regardless of what it says on the toy, it's going to protect people's eyes, and you know that kids are going to shoot each other in the face with these things, so at least the slime won't get in their eyes. So kudos for Jakks Pacific for providing somewhat protection. But on top of that, these things make a great cosplay accessory for anybody who wants to cosplay as Splatoon characters. So that is the huge plus from these toys. I love these goggles. Glad that they're coming with both the Splattershot Blaster and the Splattershot Mini. Next up, we have the ink tank filled with orange ink. Now, this is one of my favorite things about this package. It comes in an ink tank that you see in the game. I love that. It's aesthetically perfect. It's missing some paint applications, but it's not a big deal because these are meant to be thrown away. But visually, these are awesome because they look just like they do in the game, and it's just an awesome way for Jakks Pacific to really visually immerse children in the world of Splatoon. Now, a kid's gonna put this ink tank in the blaster, and they're gonna feel like they're an actual kid squid from the game, and it's an awesome way to do that. I love this Jakks Pacific. I keep thinking that you guys are screwing up the world of Nintendo line, and I'm so wrong every time you release something that looks this good. On top of that, it's filled with orange slime. Orange slime that we're gonna shoot at each other, and that's just great. I can't wait to go ahead and fire this thing off. Okay guys, so here it is, the Splattershot Mini, and it takes a lot of cues from the Splattershot that we see in the game, but it is of its own design, and it's not a bad design. It basically compressed the Splattershot to a one-handed gun. So the thing that's visually striking about the Splattershot Mini is this tumbler that we have in the back. So in order to shoot the Splattershot Mini, you're going to pull back on this tumbler, and then you're going to pull the trigger. So It's a cue that Jakks Pacific needed to do in order to, you know, prime the gun, but it's cool, and it's an easy pullback, so you can go ahead and you'll be able to rapid fire with this gun, probably a little bit quicker than with the actual Splattershot blaster itself. So one of my favorite things about the Splattershot blaster is the fact that you could attach an extra ink tank to the bottom of the butt of the gun. Now I can do that with the Splattershot Mini as well, and I think that's very cool, so that you can have one ink tank at the top and you can have a spare ink tank right there on the bottom, so easy refills here, guys. And finally, this is what the Splattershot Mini looks like when it's loaded. You're going to go ahead, you're going to take off the foil, and you're going to stick the top of the ink tank on top of the tank itself, and then you're just going to pull back and fire. So guys, let's go ahead and test that functionality out right now. Alright guys, so we got the Splattershot Mini all loaded up with our ink. As you can see, I've taken a few test fires here on my whiteboard. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, I'm going to show you how this thing works on camera. But guys, before we get started, I want everybody to know that safety comes first. We're going to go ahead and get our goggles on. Now, I am wearing glasses, so I'm not going to go ahead and slide these over my eyes. But kids, if you're going to use this and you're going to be shooting each other, you know, I highly advise you use the goggles that come in the box because you want to protect those little eyes. So, in order to use the Splattershot Mini, you're going to pump back here. Well, let's just go ahead and fire it off real quick. So, you're going to pump, and then you're going to squeeze the top. And there you go. Pump, squeeze, and look at that. That is a pretty good blast. Not as good as the larger version. This does require an extra step. But that ink is coming out. Ooh, got some on my fingers. So this is a fun, messy toy. Look at that, guys. Look at that goopy ink. I'm going to go ahead and throw that on the board. So you're going to squeeze. You're going to fire. You're going to squeeze. You're going to fire. Now, I don't know if it's me, but I am not always getting it to come out with every pump. But, oh, there we go. That was a lot. It is coming out. Now, it doesn't fire with the same velocity that the larger version does, but that's okay because we definitely paid more for this one right here. The Splattershot Mini is like the budget one. It's, retailing at $16.99. I didn't expect it to shoot with the same velocity as the larger version. I mean, if it did, then what would have been the incentive to buy the larger version if you were going to get the same kind of firepower out of the, the little one? Other than, video game accuracy. But this is a lot of fun. It still is a lot of fun, and it is still very messy. But I gotta reiterate, the ink is water soluble, so ooh, that was a good splat. So all you gotta do is just put some warm water, and that was awesome. It's just gonna wash right off. So this is the same whiteboard I used last time. There are no blue ink stains on it, as you can see. So it comes off real easy. So just gonna give it a couple more fires, and then we're gonna hit you guys up with score time, right? So don't go anywhere. Alright guys, it is score time. My favorite time. Why? Because I get to tell you whether or not something is worth your hard-earned money. And guys, I love these guns. Jakks Pacific has taken one of my favorite games and found a way to bring that into the real world. I love the Splattershot blaster, and the Splattershot Mini is awesome as well. I love how they took the Splattershot, shrunk it down, and basically said, here is a budget version of that larger scaled gun. And they did a great job of doing it. It comes with great accessories, the goggles, the ink tank, all of that works great. So let's go ahead and break it down now. Of course, visually, it looks like a mini Splattershot. It has a lot of the same design choices that they had in the larger Splattershot, but it's more compressed and it doesn't have like the larger nozzle, and that's okay. What they did was they added that tumbler in the back, and it looks great. It'd be cool if the design team that makes the Splatoon games could incorporate this little Splattershot mini into the game itself, maybe make it like a dually type gun, but that's neither here nor there. Visually it looks pretty damn awesome, and as far as its functionality, it doesn't work as well as the regular Splattershot, but that's not, you know, a major issue in my opinion. This is the budget version of the gun. It is retailing at, again, $16.99, whereas the other version is retailing at $30. So there is a significant difference in the price, and you should expect that you're going to get a lot more out of the larger version of the gun. That being said though, this is still a lot of fun. It still shoots slime, it still does a great job at making a mess, and I love that. This is a great toy. So for its appearance, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a 7 just because, you know, it's looks like a Splattershot, but at the same time it doesn't really reflect anything from the game itself. And as far as its functionality, I'm also going to give it a 7 because it doesn't work quite as well as that major gun does. But so it gets a 7 for its appearance, a 7 for its functionality. It's going to go ahead and it's going to get a 7 out of 10, which is really good. Now yes, I know the Splattershot Blaster got a 10 out of 10, but that doesn't mean that this thing isn't good. It just isn't as good, and that is reflected in the review, guys. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, but before I let you go, gotta hit you up with these social media links. You can hit me up on Twitter at Nice1983. You can email me at nice193@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Facebook, facebook.com/NintendoPowerZone. If you're a fan of the Nintendo Power Zone podcast, you can always download new episodes on iTunes, Google Play Music, and stream new episodes on Stitcher Radio. But if you want to watch the show live, you can catch us right here on YouTube, youtube.com/thearticle, THAARTICLE. Guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Nintendo Power Zone Unboxing. And as always, don't get cooked. Stay off the hook. Deuces.